Welcome to Solve It Like a Marketer. I'm Stephen Hobey. Today, I'll be exploring product positioning, key elements and strategies for success. If you like this video, please subscribe and don't go away. So, what is product positioning? Well, in essence, this is the foundation of your marketing story. It is a means to define who your audience is, what they need, and how your product or service is unique in the marketplace. It also differentiates you from your competitors. Your thinking around positioning becomes an internal guidepost that can inform external messaging. Now, there are a few elements that you want to consider when developing positioning. The first is understanding your customer. So it's important here to consider demographic, behavioral, psychographic, and geographic details of your target audience. One exercise I love doing is creating persona profiles to inform your positioning in order to give life to that audience. Make them real, as it were. Next, you want to consider the market itself. So take a look at what alternatives your customers have to your product or service. Analyze how your competitors position themselves. Consider both direct and indirect competitors. Who within the market is catching your audience's attention? How can you make a better argument as to why your product or service rises above your competitors and truly serves your customers' needs? You should also be assessing your product or service. So what I mean by this is to define what is truly unique about it. So don't assume that just because you know your product or service is superior, that this is being translated into the market. So to define in concrete terms the unique value your company and product provides. And one way to basically accomplish this is by doing a SWOT analysis with your team in order to flush out your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Finally, conduct some market research. So this doesn't have to be an expensive process. Try to determine why your current customer base like your product or service. Why do they choose you over your competitors? And how did they find out about you? How long have they been using your product or service? This can be done through simple surveys on your website, through e-blasts, or on your social media channels. So the upshot to all of this is, in order to define your positioning, you must first do your homework and consider a number of variables. Now, if you are a small business or nonprofit, doing extensive market research may not be possible. But having said this, it can be done and not break the bank. One methodology is to basically ask your network for their opinions. Gather opinions from social media outreach. And this can be way easier than investing in formal focus groups. It's up to your team to come together and distill these findings and then determine how to position your product or service. So also remember that positioning is a moving target, so it will evolve over time as the needs of your market change. So try and revisit your positioning every few months to see if it needs to be adapted. One really great way to clearly define your positioning is through a positioning statement. This describes your target audience, what sets your product apart, and why customers should care about it. So once you've done your homework, you can plug in your findings into a clearly defined formula. And that's what I will be covering in my next video, how to create a positioning statement. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. You can also catch me on Instagram and Facebook for extra content, and well, you never miss an episode. The links are below. I'll see you every week with a new video, so please stay tuned, and together, let's solve it like a marketer.